Welcome to the Why Not podcast, hosted by Chrissy and Yvonne. In a world where everyone asks why, we're here to ask, why not?
Hello, Chrissy. How are you today?
I am good, and how are you?
I'm super.
That's not very convincing. Say it again with more conviction.
I'm really great. Yes, I'm really wonderful.
Come on, more
I'm
conviction.
really in a good mood, okay? I can't make it any more convincing. I swear, I'm happy. So have you had
Okay, I believe you now.
have you had a
Huh?
have you had a productive day?
I suppose it's been mildly productive.
That's good.
I've gotten things that I wanted to do done.
That's great.
I still have a few other things to do.
Loads.
So, yeah. What about yourself? You had a productive day?
Absolutely not. However, that was kind of my plan. So
Oh, then,
yeah.
now, as well, actually, do you know the difference between busy and productive?
Good one. Yes.
Mm.
Well, in that case, then I've been productive and not busy because I've done the things that I wanted to do today, which were to chill. So I've done loads of that. I've been super productive and chilling out. And I did a yoga class this morning, which actually wasn't on the plan. I didn't know I was going to do it, but I woke up, I was feeling like I wanted to. I checked in with the teacher. Could I join the class? They said yes. So I jumped into class and I really enjoyed it. And so that was, I guess, yeah, something good for my mental health, something good for my body, something good for my mind. And then I've recorded some podcasts with you. So they were all things that I wanted to do.
That's it. Like, I've had a slow day today, but it was a productive day.
Yeah.
In so much I like.
That's what I like to do. Slow and steady.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone may have picked up on the fact that today we are going to talk about productivity.
Yes.
Productivity, to-do lists, goal setting, that kind of thing. Basically, what gets you going in order to get stuff done. So what works for us, what works for other people, what doesn't work for us. We are not experts on productivity by any means. We're both kind of figuring it out. But we're just going to have a little chat about it. And of course, if you would like to share with us after this podcast anything in terms of productivity, goal setting, and to-do listing that works for you, we would be more than happy to hear about it. Because we're still, I guess, figuring it all out in terms of our own business.
Yeah, and hearing everyone else's like tips and tricks and what they do is always great to hear as well, because you never know what different ideas you might find work for you as well.
Exactly. There's always something that kind of resonates, and then there's something that you're like, no way, no, I cannot do this, no thank you, sir. So yeah, and we're all different, we work in different ways. I think that's really important with productivity. Sometimes, like, if you read a self-help book or like listen to a podcast or something and it's like, this is how to be productive, it's like, no dude, that's how you're productive. Like, we're all different and we actually all work in such different ways.
That is so very true. Yeah, I agree. And what was the name? What are we calling this one today?
Oh, I would do it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, and I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah, it resonates with me, all right.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, do you plan your days, weeks, and months? Do you write yourself down a list of your day, what you're going to do, etc.?
I like to plan my day by the day, so I normally do a couple of days at a time.
Okay.
So, like, I'll start by like listing stuff I have to do. Like, so if I've got work or like I have an hour where I'm teaching a class or something, that goes on the list, obviously, because that's like there. I have to be there for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will put in other things that I want to get done that day, and I try to plan them around it. So, like, one of the things might be I have to go to Sam that day, so I try to go early to him, especially with the weather at the moment. And then I might be like, okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing for maybe an Instagram post, or I need to do some podcast work or whatever. I like to have that all planned, and then I've started doing the one non-negotiable a day.
Yeah.
So that can be like, if I'm being lazy, it can be like, oh, my one non-negotiable is Sam, but like I'm going to Sam anyway. Or you could be like, my one non-negotiable is I have to teach a class that I have to teach anyway. Or if I'm really committing to it, it'll be like something that I don't want to do. So not that I don't want to do, but something that's going to be harder. Like, say, for instance, today's non-negotiable was podcast, get one edited and ready to go.
Yes.
And that's done, and I'm like, brilliant. And then tomorrow I have to actually listen to a lecture from a course I haven't been listening to lecture in weeks. So that's a big one.
That is a big one.
But like that, it's like setting one thing, and it's always one thing you don't want to do. Like, it's something that you need to do, but you don't want to do. And then when you get that one non-negotiable done, there's like a nice like little sense of achievement in achieving that. And then it kind of doesn't matter if you get the other bits done.
Yeah,
The kind of ones you know you'll get done anyway.
Everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it.
Cool.
What about yourself? What way do you?
I used to do similar to you, actually. I used to kind of take out my planner, like my diary, and physically like write it in, like when I'm in work, what classes I'm teaching, what covers I'm taking, and then fill in the other things around it. So that would be like, when am I going to get to the gym? When am I doing PT? When am I going to therapy? When all those things. And within all that, I used to have very little time off for myself. Only one day off a week, and that day would usually be pretty jam-packed with stuff that I needed to do. So I would have to like write myself a to-do list for the day off. So it was full on, but obviously COVID has changed that up a little bit. So at the start of COVID, I tried to continue just as I had before. I would take out my planner and give myself goals or like to-do lists, etc. per day. Like, these are the things I want to do. These are, you know, like, it could be hoover, whatever, clean out the fridge, anything like that, you know. And I started off fairly productive, but I guess the motivation then started to wane. And that's just because I think that way of planning actually really isn't working for me. So I've stopped. I heard it was on the Pat Divley podcast that you introduced me to. I heard him say that he's no longer goal focused, he's intention focused. And I've really that really works for me. So I'm not trying to give myself to-do lists anymore. I wake up every day and look, I know, like, if I need to teach a class at 3:00 or whatever, I'm gonna do that. Those things I'll obviously commit to. But apart from that, I'm just gonna go by feel. So if I'm feeling like, you know, I want to clean or do something, I will do it. But if I don't, I absolutely won't. And that's kind of working. And I've actually felt like I've gotten more done that way. By just breathing into the day, seeing what happens, seeing where I end up. I'm more productive. I don't know, that seems to work better for me. I think if I have a to-do list there in front of me, my like rebellious brain, it doesn't want to tick off the items, it wants to do something else. So I'll end up being just as productive, but just not about the things that I wrote on my list. So I'll be like, oh, I said I want to wash my car, so better go for a 5K jog or something. When, okay, that was great, I did the jog, wonderful. I never did, by the way, because I hate running. But you know, stuff like that, like when I'm actually being super productive, but just not the productive that I had planned. So then I end up feeling guilty about it. And that's just not a good feeling. So I've just kind of quit the to-do lists for now.
Yeah, I found actually when I first started, when COVID first started, people were like, oh yeah, try and keep your routine. And the first thing I did was like, right, I'm going to do all this. And then the first thing I did after I wrote my list for the week was I got drunk that night and didn't do anything the next day. So then I went, okay, let's see if we can. Yeah, so I was like, all right, there's a self-sabotage streak, just being like, all right, now you're pissed that you didn't do your list. So I was like, right, I need to rein this back a bit. So I gradually built it up. So like, say for instance, I get away, I wake up at 8:00 every morning, I set an alarm. which is a line for me because I'm normally up at 5. But like I started that, and then I was like, okay, right, I need to do this now. And then like the first time I tried to write the list, I tried to give myself time frames to everything, so everything had to be done by a certain time. But now I'm like, no, okay, right. If I have like these things to do today, I get them done. I'm happy. And then like my one non-negotiable now, where it's like, okay, you have to do this.
Yeah, non-negotiable is cool. I like that.
Yeah, and then the good thing about it is as well, like I don't have to necessarily do it any time of the day. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
I got that one actually from Brian Keane as well, on his productivity in your own business stuff.
Yeah, I must give it a listen.
So yeah, we're mad for Dale Galway, man.
Is Pat Tivoli Galway as well?
Yeah.
Interesting. Must be a Galway thing.
Yeah, it's just that lovely soft accent that makes them really easy to listen to.
Yeah, they do have lovely voices. So I found as well, right? I don't know if you ever do this. Do you do like New Year's resolutions?
No.
Okay, so I actually do, and I know people like I know the jury is out on New Year's resolutions in general, but I actually really like them, and I know everyone sets these like mad goals at the start of the year, and then they've forgotten about them by March. I actually really do my goals, and that's the only kind of goal setting I do. I think is in January I'll give myself some kind of goals. Now I often forget about them, and I have to go back and reread what I've actually written for myself. Like just now, I'm trying to think of what I had planned for myself for 2020. I would imagine that the plan has definitely gone awry because of the feckin' pandemic. But anyway,
I think that scuppered a lot of plans, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, to be honest, like whatever. But what I do is I give my years a theme, and I find this really helpful in terms of like to-do lists and productivity, etc. So the theme might just be one word at the start of the year, like basically what do I want my year to look like? What do I want to feel this year? Like what's the vibe of my year? What do I need more of basically? So this year it's just about making things more simple for myself. So when I'm planning,
COVID did that for you.
Huh?
COVID did that for you.
It fucking did. Sorry, everyone. Maybe it was my New Year's resolution that ruined all your plans. But yeah, I find that really, really helpful when I'm trying to make decisions, or when I'm trying to like kind of plan my day or whatever. I'm like, is it in line with my theme? And if it's not, then the answer is I'm not doing it. So that's really helpful for me as well. Yeah, like if there's a mad day when I'm like I need to do all these things, I'm like, which are the things that are going to make my day more simple? And I'll do those things.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've been
because you do get into that. It's like, okay, like you were saying yourself, like you're one day off, you're like, I need to get all this done. Then you don't really have a day off.
Yeah, that I wasn't getting days off ever. Like on my day off, Wednesdays are I have a non-negotiable day. So Wednesdays are that day. I'm like, I do not make plans on Wednesdays. They're my day. That is it. That's the only day I have. I work every other day. Now, obviously, it's different now. Don't really know what's going to happen. But because Wednesday was my day, I had to like had to try, and any appointment that I might need to make, like so say if I need to go like to the doctor or the dentist, anything like that, it would have to be on a Wednesday, or the bank would have to be on a Wednesday. Anything that I ever needed to get done, it would have to be on a Wednesday. So that's a lot of pressure on one day, because my other days there just was no time for anything else. I'd often be like working in one restaurant, then maybe teaching a couple of classes, then going to another restaurant. When I say go to restaurants, I would be working in those restaurants, not just eating in them. I waitress as well as teach. Well, not at the moment, but who knows? Hopefully soon, yeah. Hopefully soon, but also I don't think I'm ready for my life to get back to the exact same level of chaos that it was. It was a bit much, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think I need to try and figure out, and like especially now, it's it really makes you learn like why was I doing that? I need to try and set up a way where can be in the same situation without so much extra unnecessary work.
Exactly. It just, yeah, I think me and you were actually in a really similar place, weren't we? Like, loving our jobs. Like, I think we both really, really are passionate about the work that we do, but it was just like the actual workload was mayhem. And we
Yeah.
were kind of unable to say no to anything because we want to like succeed. We want to take the opportunities. We want to do it all. And we're both really hard workers as well. I think we have a good work ethic.
Yeah.
But then the balance was not right. So didn't have a lot of time for ourselves.
Yeah. So you need to work that balance.
Yeah.
And like, it's not all about work, it's not all about play, but you do need a bit of both.
Yeah,
you know?
like I love work, I honestly do. And like even I love teaching yoga, but not even just that. Like I also love waitressing. Like I really actually do love it. And I know it's a job that so many people might kind of sniff at, but I actually really have fun. I mean, it's tough sometimes, but for the most part, like I get to go out, I get to talk to people. There's chefs there to make me food every day. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, you might know that the banter in the kitchen is just the best.
Crazy.
It's a great time. So sorry, lost my train of thought there.
Then you do like working in the restaurant.
Yeah, I do.
But you were overworking, in other words.
Here's my donkey brain back. Yeah, I do. But again, it's hard work and there wasn't enough time for me.
Yeah, like I saw that as well about my job. Even like when me and Peter first moved in together, there was a case. It just seemed to happen. Like I would say doing a course on a Tuesday, but like Monday and Wednesday, I'd always be on late shifts.
Yeah.
Which then like it's like I was like I didn't see him till the weekend when we didn't live together, and now we're seeing him, and I was like I haven't seen you for like 4 days straight because he was always in bed by the time I got home.
I know, yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
myself
I know
and
we've got
Mark
like
are that
different
too.
careers, so we've yeah, it's mad though, isn't it? You live with them, you don't even see them.
I know. I know we have to like kind of plan. Speaking of planning, to do lists, etc. Sometimes me and Mark have to be like, okay, what's the one day that we actually might have a few hours where we're both not working, and like let's actually like make a plan to. Maybe it used to be like to do something, to go out for a meal or go cinema or whatever, but now it's like to actually just have a chat to each other. And yeah, sometimes that actually has to be planned, which is mad, but it does.
Well, that's a case of being busy, but it's not maybe necessarily productive.
Yeah. You know what I do actually? I think you know about my productive hours. Something that I do
Yeah.
when my productivity is low and I feel like I've lots to do. I might not have a lot of time to do it in, or I know that the energy is low, but I just want to get a lot done, is I will set on my Alexa or on my phone, I'll set a 1 hour timer and I will just go at it. So whatever I've decided to do, maybe it's like, okay, I want to clean the house. Maybe it's like I've got loads of paperwork, I've got like a shit ton of stuff to do in terms of like admin for work or whatever that I just haven't been doing, and I just want to whack it out. I will spend 1 hour just focused. I will put the blinkers on. Anything else that comes up is just not happening. Notifications on my phone are turned off. Phone might be in the other room, whatever. I am productive for that hour. And to be honest, I find that I will get more done in that hour than I might do in a whole day on other days. Because I'm focused. I'm focused on that one small period of time, and my focus can last that long. I can last for an hour focused, but I cannot tell myself you have 8 hours, go get loads done, because nobody can focus for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, that's like it's a really good way of doing it. And I have a sort of similar thing, but it's not like basically if I know of a certain time frame to get something done, like I will procrastinate for 2 hours, but I know I have an hour till I have something. Say for instance, I have an hour to a class now. It's like, right, we have to work out now. You have to do it.
Yeah.
You can't toss it. You're gonna have to do it. Or like say I normally do my weight sessions in between class on Tuesday and Thursday because I have a certain amount of time, or I go for a run on a Tuesday because I know I have to get out that door and go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I miss it. So yeah, like it's not as structured, or as like yours is much better. But mine is just like Chrissy, you've dicked around long enough. Do it. You don't have time to do it anymore.
Yeah, when you take the choice away, when you take away the option to procrastinate, it's like, okay, well, okay, I can't procrastinate anymore. Now procrastination would just mean not doing it. Then you
Yeah.
find that you actually make the choice and just do it. Because we know we want to do the thing. Like, you want to go for the run, or you want to do the workout. I want to do the paperwork or
I
whatever.
don't want to go for the run.
Yeah, nobody does.
That's why I put it on so long.
Who wants to go for a run? Weirdos.
I have cleaned my house to avoid going for a run. That's how much I dislike running.
Oh, I really enjoy cleaning my house. So actually, like,
I know you do.
it's a good time. My house is very messy right now.
Oh, mine's a state.
But actually, speaking of
Listen,
what I've done,
go on.
yes.
No, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said Yvonne. What I've done in the last 2 days. Okay, sorry, no, not in the last 2 days. In the last day. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Is I have my house has gotten so messy in the last few weeks. I don't know what happened. Normally, I'm quite clean and I like cleaning and keeping on top of it, but it's gotten really bad. So I'm doing, rather than a productive hour for my entire house, which is what I would normally do, I would do the whole house in an hour, not a bother. Now I'm doing a productive hour per room. So
Okay.
the house is now, it's like, wow, it's not Yvonne standard by any means. So I did my bedroom the other day, and okay, I did end up going over my hour, but I was motivated at that point. Like, I was in it. The hour timer went off, but I was still going, and I was happy to keep going.
Yeah.
And I got it all done, and I'm really delighted now. My bedroom is very fresh. But I've got the rest of the house to do now.
Yeah, I believe it. I might do a bit today.
Yeah. My plan was to do the
But I
sitting
don't
room.
wanna.
Yeah, I don't want to. I really actually don't want to. Like, I also really just want to read my book, and I want to repot my plant.
Yeah.
They're two things that I really want to do. So they're probably going to come first, because I'm going to just go by vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that's
Yeah. And it's Wednesday. So today is my non-negotiable day. Today is my day that I just do what I want to do.
so if you don't have to, so you don't have to do any of that stuff then.
I don't. I really don't. If I want to do it, I will. But tomorrow will be a different story. Now, tomorrow, if I tell myself I'm doing the sitting room, I'll do it, you know?
Yeah.
But today is not that day. I think to have a day that way, where you're like, look, just the door is open. Do what you want to do. And you might want to do some stuff that is like productive. You might not. But it's also super productive to take time off.
Yeah, I tried to do that on Sunday. Like, I tried, like, not, well, I don't take work, and then I just like to flake about and do nothing. Sometimes I go for a walk, sometimes I don't. But yeah, it is. I think it's just as important for yourself to do stuff like that, as opposed to, like, you shouldn't feel like you always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
So sometimes doing nothing will be just as good for you as doing everything.
Yeah, you got to press the reset button. How do you
Definitely.
if you've written yourself, like, kind of, say, your non-negotiable or even a small to-do list or something for the day, how would you forgive yourself for, say, if you didn't tick it off the list, if the non-negotiable didn't get done? How would that be for you?
To be honest, I'll be pretty mad at myself because I've had such a habit of throwing it out the door for so long and not doing it. Like, you know, obviously, if it's something out of your control, if something come up that you didn't know was going to happen that day, like, and your to-do list doesn't get done, like, that's completely normal. That's fine. Like, so I wouldn't be mad if something like that happened.
Okay.
But if it's my own fault, so, like, if I didn't get it done because, like, I was basically just messing around and doing nothing, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be, like, mad at myself because I'm like, well, that's your fault. If I don't get it done because something came up or something happened and whatever went through that I couldn't control, I'd be like, okay, well, fair, that's not my fault, you know?
Okay. But you would put a certain level.
That's why I try to make.
You would put a certain level of pressure on yourself, if the thing on the non-negotiable did not get done and the responsibility was on you for the reason why it didn't.
Yeah, but I suppose as well, like if I know I might be a little bit, how do I describe it? Not as on form or something that day,
Yeah.
I may have made my non-negotiable something that's really easy to attain.
Okay.
So like say tomorrow, I know I've got like, I have the classes, I've this, that and the other, I've loads of stuff to do. Trying to fit in a non-negotiable of something that's a big task is just almost setting myself up for failure. Whereas if I made tomorrow's a day I go to Sam, if I made that my non-negotiable, I'm like, okay, well I got my non-negotiable done before 10 o'clock and I'm happy.
Just to clarify as well, when Chrissy says go to Sam, Sam is her horse. I don't know if
Yes,
people
not
know
just
that.
some person I visit to talk to.
Well, I guess you do talk to him.
I do actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so that's one way of like, when I the days I feel like I can be more productive, I might make my non-negotiable more difficult. So I try not to plan too far in like 3 days in advance. Normally like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or something, and then like Thursday and Friday are kind of busier days for me. So I know what I need to get done for them.
Yeah. And what about long-term goal setting? Are you a fan? Yes or no? Opposed or not opposed?
I would be a fan because what's the saying? Peter told me this before. It was like, it's just a dream until you write it down, then it's a goal or a plan, something
Love
like that.
it.
So, but also with that, like once it's written down, you have to make the things to get it done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like you saying like, oh, I want my business to be successful, and you write it down. Okay, that's great, but unless you put in the groundwork on it, it's not going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very good, and I think writing it down, writing ideas and goals down makes it real,
Okay.
and then it'll motivate you more to work towards it.
Okay.
What about yourself? What way do you go with
Totally the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I used to maybe be a long-term goal setter. Now I am just not, because I've just found that every long-term goal I've ever set has ended up not working out, but always for the better. So I might say like I really, really want, like maybe, in my late teens and early 20s, it would have been I want to be a professional dancer. I would have put all of my work and effort and energy, everything into it for a few years. I really did give it my all. And
Yeah.
I did do some professional dance work. Like I did work professionally for a number of years. And I hated it. I was like, what? I don't want to do this. Now look, that happens sometimes, like it's not what you want it to be.
It's your ladder is up against the wrong wall.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I love that.
Yeah. So basically they always say what's the saying is, it's better to be at the bottom of the ladder when it's up against the right wall than halfway up the wrong wall.
Oh my God, I've never heard that before. I actually love that. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, it's good.
I was putting
Yeah.
so much focus and energy and effort, and I didn't enjoy it. But look, no regrets. I mean, these things happen. And now I'm on a career path that I love. But again, maybe in a year's time, I'm going to just decide, no, I don't want to be a yoga teacher. I want to be a tightrope walker. Who knows? And so again, it's more just go by feel,
Yeah.
go by vibe, see what feels right. And I think it frees me up a little bit as well. Now, I know I'm such a hippie,
Yeah.
and like for some people, it's like I can't live like that, but I just want to kind of go with the energy and see how, kind of feel it out as I go. And I usually feel like
Yeah.
I end up in the right place. So
Yeah.
yeah, long-term goal setting.
I suppose.
know.
Yeah, I suppose with me, for ages, the reason I didn't set them was because I was afraid of failure. And now I'm like, look, I know I'm on the right path here. This is what I want to do. So if you want to get better at it, it's up to you to do it. So that's why I'm like, okay, these are my goals. I have like 3 things written down at the moment, and I'm trying to work my way towards them anyway.
Yeah.
So like, like one of them isn't crazy. One of them's run a half marathon distance, even if the half marathon never, like it's supposed to be still in September, but like still, like that's one of my goals. And I've been lazy as hell running recently, but it's still there.
Yeah,
And I will, like, it's there. I have to do it.
you'll do it.
Whereas like other ones, I'm not gonna say it, but I am putting in the work to do it. So I know for a long time I was like, why am I not getting this far? And I'm like, it's because you're not doing it.
Yeah,
You're not doing the work to get that far.
yeah,
So now I'm like, okay, I'm starting to put the cogs in motion. I'm like, okay, this might take time, but now if you're like, say for instance, right now is the time to do it,
yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. So instead of being afraid of what could happen, just go for it anyway.
Definitely. I think self-belief is so important. I think, yeah, once I got onto the path for like becoming a yoga teacher and that kind of journey, I've actually had loads of self-belief, which has been great. And I don't know where it came from. I definitely would not have had that in my previous career choices, I think, ever. And this is the first time I've really believed in myself. And I think it's because, to be honest, I've just chosen the right path, and it works. Like, it aligns with my kind of ethos as a human being. And just it just works for me. And I actually
Yeah.
just believe in myself, and that's really unchanging. I've now obviously, okay, there's doubts. We all have them. They creep in.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the imposter syndrome pops in, and I'm like, what? You're standing up here and you're going to tell these people what to do? Who are you to tell these people what to do? You're crap. But it's fleeting.
Yeah.
It doesn't last, and I always find my way out of it again. So yeah, I think in terms of goal setting, if you are going to set yourself long-term goals, whatever they are, you gotta believe in them. They can't be so far, like, you can't put a goal out there that, like, I'm gonna be the next woman on the moon, and not believe that it'll happen.
Working a bank 9 to 5.
Yeah, like, you gotta believe that you're gonna do it. Wow, I'm
Yeah.
like, if you could dream it, you could do it.
Yeah, but as I said, I agree with that. If
Yeah.
you can dream it, you can do it. But also, you have to put the work in to get there.
Yes, and the work has to be just as enjoyable. Like, you've got to, if you want to be like, okay, say the first woman on the moon. There's never been a woman on the moon, right?
I don't think
No,
so.
there
I
hasn't.
don't know.
If you want to be the first woman on the moon, you got to enjoy the work that it takes to get there.
Physics.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
That's just as important. Like, the goal is one thing, but you've got to enjoy the journey. Because life will continue without it. Like, what normally happens, I think, as well, is that one little tiny thing that you might want, that moment, like, I have ran my half marathon, or I have this many followers on Instagram, whatever. That little moment is very, very quick to pass. So if that's all your hopes and dreams are on that singular moment, you better start expanding your hopes and dreams, because it's not enough to stay in happiness for your whole life.
That's coming back to the I'll be happy when fallacy as well. Like I'll be happy when I've run a half marathon. You run the half marathon, like, why am I happy? It's like, because like happiness isn't a single, like, it's not a destination, as it's a practice. So you need to be happy every day. Like, not happy every day, like, obviously you're not going to be happy every day, but like even little positive, little mini wins every day.
Exactly.
Like that, like getting that one non-negotiable done. That's training yourself to be happy.
Yeah, and just enjoying the groundwork, like, and the graft work, you know. Like, for example, like right now, I'm teaching yoga and I love it. Like, I don't, you know, you see people who are like teaching yoga at like massive big festivals to all these people. I'm like, that would be so cool. I would totally do that. People who are teaching like massive big retreats and stuff, and also that would be cool. I would love to do that. But I also love just teaching, like, just teaching the people, like, you know, getting in front of a group of people and teaching. Like, I think that'll always be what I love. It's not going to have to be like this big huge public event that, like, I don't know. So it's the graph work. It's just getting in there, doing it, and learning, like, getting your books out and actually learning, research, all those little things. Like, you got to enjoy that stuff too.
It's like, it's the practice, as you say, as opposed to the fame.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be the same with me teaching classes. Like, wouldn't mind doing a big class day thing, but like that, I'm happy to teach 4 people in one go as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like if the goal was, okay, I want to teach at them, like, say, what are the big festivals, like fitness festivals, like trying to think of the name of one of them now, like Wellfest.
Well,
Yeah. Like if you're like, I want to teach a class at Wellfest, like that would be so cool. And if you did it, that would be awesome. I would be there and I'd cheer you on. But like, how would you get there? Teaching 3 people in like a little cold room somewhere with a dodgy stereo, people who are just looking to improve their fitness. Like, you know, that's where you start, and
Yeah.
that's got to be just as valuable to you.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
I'm a grafter.
Yeah, same. I'm happy to do the work.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Shall we leave it there?
I think we will. I think we touched on everything that we
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah. We may have obviously gone off topic again, but I think that's just going to be us.
I think it is, to be fair.
We have a habit of rambling away.
It's fun. So guys, thank you so much for listening. We are wishing you all the best. And again, if you do want to get in touch, Chrissy, where can people find you on social media?
So you'll either find me on Instagram, which is my main kind of business page, for want of a better description. That is Chrissy, CHRISSY H for Hawkins, fitness. So that's my Instagram. And then also there is my silly side, which you'll find on TikTok, which is just Chrissy H Fit. I dropped the NIS because I'm trying to be cool with young kids and abbreviate. And where we find you, Yvonne?
So on Instagram, mostly that's all I really do. So it's Yvonne_Hegarty, HEGARTY_yoga. So feel free, guys, to get in touch if you want to share any tips or tricks that you have for being productive, for goal setting, or for writing to-do lists. And yeah, that's us for today.
Cool. We'll talk to you all soon.
Bye, Chrissy. Thank you.
See you later, Yvonne. Well done. Well done. Bye.
Good girl. Well done.
It's like the end of a class. I was like, see ya. Well done.
Well done, Yvonne. Thanks, Chrissy. Well done.
Great job. You talked well.
Come on.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go now before I say something stupid. More stupid.
Bye, everyone. Have a great
Thank you again for listening to the Why Not podcast. Because remember, in a world where everybody asks why, we're here to ask why not.